positive.
Yeah, and they've been what do you call it? Recommending it to me quite a bit.
Really? That's nice.
Yeah, I haven't subscribed, and they're still recommending it. But anyways, I just subscribed, so I think it should be fine.
What? You didn't subscribe before? The fuck is that?
Yeah, no, because I wanted to see if, let's say, they'll continue to recommend it to me.
Oh,
Yeah, and they have been for the last week, I think. So
mhm. Wait, so is
yeah.
the stream live right now? I don't even have the game
Wait,
open.
let me check. How do I go to?
Later, back.
I don't think it's live now.
I think, let me check the YouTube studio. Dude, I am such an ape when it comes to these lives. I think I'm live right now.
Wait, then
Yeah.
how do I not see it?
Oh, because I didn't have the game.
Can I not go to live on?
Let me set up the music as well. I really wanted to change the music from last night's stream. So, window. Let me check the stream. So, YouTube. So I have 2 viewers, so at least it is working. Get shareable link.
Wait, let me go get my other stuff to see if I can.
Alright.
Give me a moment, I'll mute myself.
Take your time. Take your time. Let me just set up the whole stream infrastructure. I really should learn how to set this up beforehand. It is a learning curve. It is a learning curve. Yeah, the shareable link here. Alright. What's up, Aqua? How are you doing, bro? Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me just adjust some music. Oh, drama on 65, yeah. 65 is a very interesting server, it seems like. You gotta love the drama. You gotta live for the drama. Delicious drama. Yum, 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 yum. What kind of music you guys would like me to play for the stream? Is the stream not working properly? Oh, it is. It is working good. Okay. That is a very good offer. You are now moderator. Let me just fix the music. No copyright. Background music.
مد في الموتزاريلا برجر الجديد من كنتاكي.
Who that?
What's up, pussy?
Sup, Sin? How are you doing, bro?
Oh wait, MEOWER streaming. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Your voice will not be heard in the stream anyways, so don't worry about it.
Perfect.
I was just setting up the music stream. Music on the stream. I think it should be working now.
I'm so hungover right now, dude.
Were you out partying?
Yeah, last night I went out. I didn't have to stay home and fight, so I fucking went out.
There were no fights yesterday.
Yeah.
Can you guys check if the stream is working right now? The music is good. Can you hear it yourselves? Can you check for me, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on.
Do you hear yourselves?
Fight, so I fucking went out. We can still hear ourselves on the stream.
Wait, really? Wait, I thought Discord was
Yeah.
supposed to have streamer mode. Wait, let me check this.
Is working right now. The music is good. Can you hear yourself?
Streamer mode. What is this? How do I fix this?
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'm streaming. I can hear you on stream, sis. Mega call appear on Streamlabs.
Yeah.
Okay, so Discord, this could be audio capture from the stream here, and what you hear right now doesn't worrying about keeping private Discord conversations. Discord audio capture. Disable your desktop audio. Oh, so that's how. Okay. I hope I don't get banned. Hold on a second. Let me try to fix this. Aqua, I think I will ban you instead. How about that? Disable desktop audio sound. Okay, so let me turn this off. Okay. Do you guys hear? Do you guys still hear yourself on the stream? Okay. Okay. Can. All right. Try now because the delay should be gone right now. I guess it could be working. Do you hear yourself? All right. I think it's fixed now. You don't hear yourself? That is super good. Okay. Okay. So now that I've worked out all the troubles with the stream, it's a learning progress. It's a learning process. Yeah. All right. So welcome to the stream, guys. Sin, you can stay if you'd like, and you can talk now. It should be working. All right, no problem, bro. We're gonna have the Magma class. The Magma class will be at 40 in UTC. So that is like an hour 45 from now. So I'm just gonna chill on stream for now. If anyone has any servers to review, we can do that. We can test out builds right now. I'll try to explain how damage factor really works in this game because I know it's a really important thing to figure out. You know, in general, just chilling and such. But leave the stream open, bro. I need to watch. I need the viewers. I'm struggling out here. All right, later, bro. Have a good one. So how are you guys in chat doing? Seven. I'll pick up, I guess. Hmm. No, I don't think people can hear the stream anymore. I muted the stream and such. Live streaming. Let me just do this real quick. No, don't go on posting shit. All right, all right, all right. So the damage factor and how it works on artifacts and on skills. So let's use our good friend Darling Da as a guinea pig. Okay, which march should I pull out here? Okay, let me just call this one since it is closest. Isn't this heavenly? Okay. Let me just join another alliance. The data. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna be explaining how damage factors work and how it's calculated when it comes to wanting to dish out as much damage as possible, especially for artifacts and troops. I kind of fell asleep on myself a little bit, Michaelis, after the stream ended, and I was trying to fix the browser and the laptop. So sorry about that. So we're gonna try out a march of archers. We're gonna test out, first of all, with 50,000 troops. We're gonna see how that impacts the damage dealt. 50k. Oh wow, burning. Okay, so just so everyone is aware how what damage factor is. Damage factor is the amount that is added, or the base amount of any skill. For example, Nico's piercing shot, it has a base physical damage factor of 1400. So how you augment this is based on a few key things, mainly march size, how many troops you have in your march, which is why it's always recommended to try to keep your troop health as high as possible and try not to lose as many troops as you usually would over time. And the other thing that has a slight impact to it is the overall damage dealt from your March bonuses. So what that means is that there are some augmenting for it, such as in the Legion buffs, you can see there is the damage dealt. This damage dealt buff impacts the damage factor, and the hero skill damage also impacts the damage factor. As for the troops' base stats, they have a really low percentage for impact. I mean, it's there, but it's not as noticeable as other things that go into consideration, such as the troop amounts. Because the troop amounts is like the biggest indicator of how much damage you're gonna do, whether if it's from the artifact skill damage or your commander skill damage. These two are like the biggest deciding factors when it comes to damage factors and how it really functions. So we're gonna test it out here. We're gonna run a march of 50,000, and then we're gonna run a march of 100,000. We'll see the differences in skill damage and how much it was changed in both reports. No, I'm not gonna tell them that. Okay, so we're just walking there, and there are always some different things that impact how a skill does its damage from certain bonuses, such as Valiant's hero skill damage bonus dealt. But the bonus damage dealt is calculated after damage factor is done. So it augments what is coming out after all the calculations are factored in between your attacks, your march sizes, the enemy's march size, the enemy's defense, and everything calculated. After that, the bonus of the damage dealt starts taking effect. So we're gonna try out a regular march without any bonuses outside of Actually, I don't think archers have any augments on skill damage outside of the talents. But I'm not using any special talent tree that needs any special uh any special what's it called, augmentation. Okay, so we're just waiting for now till the March arrives and we can start showing off how it really works. But since Darling Da is a 21 million power player, I'm gonna fight him on his territory where he has the extra buff, so we can at least see a couple of skill rotations occur, so we can get a proper grasp on how things are calculated. Also, the Magma Demon Guide will start at 14 UTC, so look forward to that. Oh, which server is that? This ain't it. Let me post the link to the playlist in the description of the stream as well. Okay. Okay, so you can see here we're fighting. He's on territory. We're taking somewhat even trades. And now let's see the damage dealt. So you got 6,000 into. Holy, oh my God, that is so much. Okay, so 65. Ooh. Yeah, well, I was just at 65 last night, reviewing the server and what happened and such. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So let's review the report and the battle log. First turn, things go normal. I get the poison effect from Guan's skill. So let's just review the skill of each of those commanders that are present here. Both of us have a level 60 Shadow Blades, so in terms of stats, we're identical. I have a level 5 Shadow Blades, but I also have an Awakened Nico, and he's running Nico Guan, and I'm running Nico Kanara. All things considered, he traded pretty well into me. So let's review the damage dealt and all that. In terms of HP, across stats, all across the boards, I have much higher because, well, I'm 50 million power. I'm almost maxed out completely in tech, while he is still 20 million power, and there's a big difference in tech and such. Also, it seems like he has his build is more tailored towards counter attack, while mine is based more towards normal attack, damage dealt, and raw damage dealt. Also, he has higher hero skill damage augmentations. It could be from technology, and it could be from his talents. But what we're here to review is the damage factors and how the damage from skills is calculated. So it's here, it goes normal. I still haven't triggered the skill yet. So where is it? Where is the skill? Usually it's around starting from turn 7, the skills start activating. Also, there we go, from turn 9. So these little markers are the rage skills. So we can see here is that my skill damage, where is the green one? Piercing shot, I dealt 6,000 damage to that, and he dealt. Where is it? Where's his piercing shot? He dealt 3,000 damage. So what was calculated here in order to impact that was the amount of troops. Both of us had 50,000, so the minor details, such as status and oh, sorry about that. Such as technology, status, and talents, started taking effect way more. But if we had a difference in the troop amounts, it would have been shown that both skills would have had a much differential impact. So we can see here is that again the deputies now start doing their where is it? Where is the Kanara activation? Oh, there we go. So Kanara here does her skill, doing a whopping 6,000 as well. And then he has his he uses chaotic arrows. So we can see here in the second time it does much less damage than the first time. So it is an interval of 3 times. So we can see 200, 200, 400. Here, in the first time it was launched, which was in this report, she dealt 347. But the second time it was dealt, he had much less troops. It dealt 321, and then the last damage factor, which should be the highest, should deal not as high as it should be. That is because 1, he had less troops. 2, his status are much lower than mine. You can see here the difference in the troop damage and the troop amounts right there are really showing how much different how much gap how like the gap really is. By the way, I hope I'm explaining properly and I'm not just running around in circles. If you feel like you're a bit confused or anything, please do let me know. Here he just uses 100,000 march on me. Uh, coming. Where is it? Okay, he's refreshing. Now we're gonna do 100,000 marches. Yeah, let me just send out the troops real quick, and then I will show the talent tree I am currently using. Though the talent tree, I believe, can be very optimized. It's not as good as it should be, because I was experimenting a little bit this season, but I will show you, in my opinion, the best Nico tree that has the biggest synergy with him, and especially if you have Kanara secondary. Come on, Nico. Okay, so my Nico's back here. Let's launch Nico, Kanara. Okay, so let's check out the talents. Okay, so this is the talent I am currently using for Nico. I run attack, defense, HP in the foundation tree, and then I run arrow of precision, the normal. I use the precision tree as my primary build, though I think I will definitely edit something in it. The precision tree overall is a really good tree, Drizzle. I like it quite a lot. But this is the current tree I'm using. I'm gonna switch it up next season though. I'm gonna go away from Intrepid, and I'm definitely gonna go for High Spirits into Force of Will, because I feel like the crit chance is not as good for archers especially, because they're more heavy on physical damage than skill damage. And the reason why I'm using my Nico as primary is because his first skill, let me just lower the sound of this music, it's way too high. The reason why is that his first skill has a defense break. So when his defense break is inflicted, Kanara's already high damage is going to deal even more damage. Now, it can be argued that you can use Kanara as primary just to decrease the amount of damage the target hits you deals. But I feel like the the defense break is much more valuable than it is the Kanara being primary. Plus, the precision tree is just so much better overall if you're running a really strong singular archer march. But if I was running two archer marches, I would have one led by Nico, followed by someone like Craig, just for the constant DPS from Craig's Awaken skill that does so much damage, or even Nico Guanwin, again to make use of the defense break and Guanwin's skills, or you can run Kenara Craig or Kenara Guanwin as well. It will depend on your choice. You can also run Kenara Husk. Kenara Husk is always a really solid commander, and he's kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none. He's super good when it comes to where is his march here? He's a really good supplement for almost anyone. If you're missing a good deputy for someone and you have an awakened Husk, then I would definitely recommend having Husk. Now let me just finish reviewing the talent tree for Nico. What I would swap next season, I would go as normal the precision. I'm gonna go Adrenaline Rush just for the extra attack damage, because normal attack damage for Adrenaline Rush impacts counter attack, it impacts the skill factor, and it impacts your regular attack. So it impacts every single basic attack you do. Some of it does get calculated inside of your skill damage, but not that much. It's more lenient towards the counter attack and the regular attack. Here you can go for strengthened weaponry, but since both archer commanders right now, such as Guanwin, sorry, not Guanwin, Nico, Kenara have really high hero skill damage bases, you don't want to decrease it by 5% just to get an extra 10%. So you're better off going for the extra counter attack because it synergizes so well with archers, because both of them have a counter attack boost. So Nico has a 20% counter attack boost, and Kenara also has up to 30% counter attack. So your counter attack becomes a whopping 150%. Which is super good, plus the extra 4%, plus from other sources if you're able to attain them from the other trees. It just adds up so much that so that if anyone hits you, they're pretty much killing themselves on you. How's the fight going here? Okay, so again, really not close. And here he sent me his talent tree. I'll review it in a second. As for Whirlwind and Invincible, I think for next season I'm gonna swap to Invincible. And here's why. I'm gonna swap it for the normal attack, damage increase by 8%, which is much more valuable than a simple 150 hero skill damage factor, because you wanna make your archers hit like a truck. Both of your commanders are already gonna hit super hard, but you wanna make it so archers that already have extremely high base attack damage, you wanna make them hit even harder. So right here, I'm almost at 100% extra attack from just the technology. When you factor in the bonuses from the Legion, the bonuses from talents, the bonuses from your artifacts, and all those bonuses, when you add them up, you're looking at an insanely high base attack stat. So you want to augment that as much as possible, just to make it hit even harder. So here, some might say irrepressible or initial intuition, but I don't like that. Initial intuition, I don't think you should remove any debuffs because most debuffs don't really last a long time. Unless a commander comes out that has a really long debuff timer, it's just not as valuable running this in comparison to having a flat 2% defense mitigation, where just from the start till the end of the fight, you mitigate 2% of their enemy's defense. And this also works on behemoths, by the way. It works on PvP and it works on PvE. So it's super good. Here, though, is where I'm going to swap out. I'm going to swap out Intrepid and the crit rates for both the skills. 5% and the 15% crit damage. It is not known how crit really works in this game so far. So that is why I don't think this is worth it, while having an extra rage generation coupled with the ability to access onslaught even more to augment your normal attack damage even higher will be much better. However, there is one thing to keep in mind when stacking buffs. Most buffs don't stack together. So if a skill has a buff, so this provides onslaught and this provides onslaught, it's gonna take into consideration the higher what's it called, the higher percentage, and that's the one that's gonna be applied. So if you have onslaught from force of will, which is 10%, and onslaught from invincible, which is 8%, onslaught from force of will take the priority because it's going to be 10%. They don't stack. Buffs don't stack in this game. And so do debuffs. Debuffs don't stack either. So you want to pick and choose the highest and the most efficient percentage from a buff, and just to make it as efficient as you possibly can. And then finally here you have Mighty Slash or Mark of War. I like Mark of War much more because you can really last a long time in combat as archers, and this impacts you whether if you're the one attacking or being attacked. And then of course for the marksman tree we're going to go for attack, we're going to go for fully loaded, and then we're going to go for intimidation onto shower of blows. I would say go 3 points into fully loaded for the extra 3%, and then 2 points here just to make use of the 6% march speed and not have to waste 3 points here and instead invest them in the extra 1.2% defense, because archers are already really low range. So you want to make them a little bit tankier, and that could really go a long way. And then here, of course, you can either go for Shower of Blows, but Bullseye. Bullseye is super good for hunting behemoths because you're always on the move and you're gonna keep refreshing your stacks as much as possible, while Shower of Blows will not be as impactful as the others. And yeah, that is it for my Nico tree. Excuse me for a minute, guys. I need to take this phone call. So enjoy the music. I'll leave the chat here open if you want to interact with anyone. Give me like 5 minutes. Alright, we are back. The link to the Discord. Let me post that. Is this expired? Oh, it's expired. It's all this time I've been posting and no expired. Oh shit. So let me edit the yes. Okay, so where were Okay, no problem. Do you hear the music at least? The music should not have went off the moment I left anyways, so. Do you guys hear the music? Okay, that's good, that's good, that's good. What's up, Mario? Okay, so let me continue reviewing the talents. So, using the marksman tree as primary. So let's just switch here, reset here, and then we're gonna use this as the build for using the marksman tree primary. So running a marksman tree primary on Nico, because again, you always want to have Nico as your primary in an archer march. The reason for that is to make use of his defense rig in his first skill. Other than that, it's not really worth running Kanara as your primary at all. Even for the control tree or the hybrid mix of PvP and marksman talent tree, the flat 50% defense break from Nico is just way too valuable to miss up on, because it also works on Behemoth too. So we're gonna use the marksman tree as our base for this build. Also, if you want no music, wait, do you guys not hear the music? Do you hear the music now? Oh, maybe the song is just super low. Let me double check the stream options. Settings. Okay, so the music is not working. Why is that? Let me add something there. The output capture. Should be working now, I think. Okay, how about now? Is it better now? I think this is as low as it can get. maybe a different song. But let's resume the marksman tree build. So this is the behemoth hunting build, where you go for as much raw damage as you possibly can, with a little bit extra march speed. So here we're gonna run 3 points into fully loaded, and a couple of points into marksman speed. And then we're not gonna go for steady shot because archers have already really low attack range, so we don't want to decrease it by 15 units either, just for the sake of an extra 15% attack. It's not worth it. So we're better off just going for the intimidation to get that extra hero skill damage. And then here we're gonna go for bullseye. After bullseye, we're gonna go for either the HP coupled with the rage generation, or we can go for extra damage into marksman units, which is only PvP, but it is much better than the other two other options. Egoism is not that good on marksman, and HP coupled with rage generation is viable. It's not bad. You can go for Cal. I honestly don't know how to pronounce that word, but it's just better off that you go for this one, Binding Snare. So in case you're ever attacked, you end up slowing the target by up to 20% with a 10% chance of that happening, which is super good. And then finally we're gonna go for the extra counter attack, or we can switch up to Radical, reducing the Legion defense by up to 1.5% just to gain 3.2%, or is it 3? I think it's up to 3% damage dealt, but reducing the defense will kind of counterset this, and you'll be at a net negative of defense by 0.3%. It is completely your choice, but I do prefer more the counterattack, just to get even more counterattack in general. And then finally we're gonna finish it up with either Burst Shot or Pursuit, but I think Pursuit is just so much better to increase the normal attack damage taken for enemies. They have the Fragility debuff, which is one of the best debuffs you can have. So we're gonna go for Pursuit. And then we're gonna use the Precision tree as our secondary tree. We're gonna go for attack, 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 this damage, attack into counter attack. This build does a little bit extra more counter attack and then one more raw attack in general. And then we're gonna use Invincible just to get access to Onslaught, because you don't have Onslaught in this build from any other source. And then the last point, we're gonna put it into High Spirits just for the extra percentage chance of generating some rage. This is like the secondary most viable marksman build, in my opinion, of course. Super good, super solid, guarantees a lot of DPS, a lot of raw damage. As for when it comes to what he was using when he was running tests, he started using attack, defense, HP, and then he used the marksman tree as his base. Music is too loud. Is it better now? Is the music better now? Let me just go back to... Okay, that's good then. So let's just continue reviewing the talents and the options. So which other commander would you guys want me to review the talents for? I think I can do almost any commander with the most valuable option in the talents for them. And of course I do want to start reviewing servers in a little bit, so if there's anything interesting going on in your server, just drop the server number on chat and we can go visit it. As soon as we're done checking if anyone has any questions in regards to making talents for their commanders or the best options for them. Emrys. Ooh, Emrys. So Emrys has two builds. One using the one that is purely for PvP, and one that has the base for mobility and march speed and raiding. So let's just dive in. This is of course a very experimental build. Don't recommend it. This is the farm kill build. I don't recommend it right now. Let's just start with the PvP build on Emrys. So we're gonna start with attack. I'm gonna go for march speed because we want to be as fast as possible when it comes to cavalry. We're gonna set up the overall attack. We want to do more attack damage instead of the extra march speed. We don't want to overcap on march speed and neglect anything else. We want to, of course, grab as many intimidations as possible or any skill damage augmentations as possible. Yeah, the mobility tree is only good for farm killing, nothing else. And then we got here, Army of Valor is not really a viable option, but since it is the better of the worst too, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna grab we don't want to grab too much march speed from the PvP tree, because PvP tree has much better options than march speed. So we can either go for extra counterattack or the Legion increased capacity, but since I am in Season 2, and we already have 250,000 marches, that extra 1.5k troops is not gonna be significant at all. So we're gonna go for the extra counterattack. Drop 4 points here. We're gonna deal more damage overall, and then we're gonna go for we're gonna go for this because there's not really any other options. Like getting the heal is nice and all, but for cavalry you just want to go in, dump as much damage as possible, go out, then go back in. It's not guaranteed. This is a PvP build, so it's not guaranteed that you're gonna keep routing an enemy every single time. But having that extra damage when you are less HP when you're running away will be very significant. And of course we're gonna go for the defense break. Defense break is just too good to pass up on, so always go for it no matter what. And then we're gonna use the cavalry tree as our secondary here. We're gonna run cavalry march speed. You always want to pick up the base stat normals from the troop specific trees versus the mobility tree. So you can see here the mobility tree starts at 2%, which caps at 10% the march speed, while in the cavalry tree it starts at 3% and caps at 15%. So cavalry tree is much better. So do keep that in mind. The normal attack damage is much more valuable than the 2.5% gained from the cavalry attack, because normal attack damage from Adrenaline Rush impacts your regular attacks and your counter attack, especially if you're running the Spring Warden faction, which has ranged cav, which apply full on normal counter attack damage. And then of course we want to go for intimidation just to make cavalry an even bigger rage engine. And then we're gonna go for perfect ferocity as our secondary, so that we deal as much skill damage as possible. And our last point, we're gonna dump it into either high spirits or here or there, it doesn't matter. So this would be the PvP Emrys 3 build. If you want to take a screenshot of it or something, go ahead. This is the PvP tree. And now for the troop farm, the farm killing tree. We're gonna use, what is this? Oh, I don't wanna. We're gonna use the mobility tree as our primary. So we're gonna try to get as much march speed in as possible, coupled with the cavalry tree as our secondary. So we're gonna grab march speed here. We're gonna get normal attack damage because you want to deal as much damage to killing all the workers as fast as possible. We're gonna go for adrenaline rush here. We're gonna go for swift maneuvers, or we're gonna go for preemptive preparation. Preemptive preparation is just much better because when you're hitting raids, you want to go in and out of combat. You're gonna be going in and out of combat constantly, so this will always have the highest percentage whenever you join combat. We're gonna go for intimidation, of course. Always super good. We're gonna go for hasty march. Yeah, Bakshi is the best primary cavalry lead. Bakshi Emrys is right now the best. You're gonna be going the best archer. Cavalry combination. Also, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, please do drop a like on it and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. So we're gonna go. Anyway, continuing the build, we're gonna go for hasty march. We're gonna go for the interception march speed debuff in case you ever get intercepted when you're running around killing people, because you will get constantly intercepted, and the intercept debuff march kind of slows you by a really big margin. So this completely makes it so if you get intercepted, you're not gonna suffer as big of a penalty as you normally would. And then we're gonna go for passing shadows. The other option is Victory Rush, but Victory Rush, it's an execute, but I feel like the extra HP and march speed boost from using an artifact will be so much better because it's more tailored towards the hit and run build order when it comes to hitting farmers. And then we're gonna run cavalry using the march speed. We're gonna run normal attack. We're gonna run intimidation, and then finally we're gonna go for steady pace, just because you're gonna be constantly going in and out of building. Now, what is a building? The building would usually be your allies. It could be a resource node, could be anything that you can go in and out of in a map. Both of these are really good, but I still think perfect ferocity is just that much better. So we're gonna go for perfect ferocity instead of steady pace, making this the build. And then finally we're gonna put a point here just for the extra march speed, because why not? This is pretty much the farm killing build. Makes you super fast, and it has a lot of base attack damage coupled into it with cavalry's already high attack damage. So you're gonna be focusing more on just hitting farmers. You want to avoid as much PvP as possible with this build. If you want to go for PvP, this will be the PvP tree for you. Between the defense rake and the raw damage overall, it will melt anyone. But Emrys is not recommended to be your primary when it comes to doing PvP with cavalry. That is the job of Mr. Bakshi right here. And I'll show you why in a minute. Let me just send out all the gatherers right back. Thank you. Let me just send gatherers out. Always gathering mana, mana, mana. The most important resource in the game. Next up, we're gonna go for Bakshi, and I'm gonna explain why Bakshi is the best cavalry lead, and that is for two main reasons. Okay, Bakshi provides a really solid skill, making you tanky, giving you a really good HP steroid. He works perfectly fine at 5-1-1-1 because the rest of his skills do not provide as much value as Emrys. So if you want to awaken a cavalry commander, I highly recommend awakening Emrys first and then start awakening Bakshi. Bakshi Bakshi is not as high value when it comes to awakening his skills as Emrys is, because Emrys' skills all provide a lot of valuable stats between attack, march speed, damage dealt, hero skill damage dealt, and then increasing his nuke even further and just making him a really big rage tank or rage engine. While Bakshi only has a really solid first skill. He has a sort of a worthless second skill, a decent third skill, and a decent fourth skill, while his awakened only augments his primary by like 100 in the damage factor and 10% extra HP. But we want Bakshi as our primary mainly due to access to the skill tree, which is just so much better than the cavalry tree or the PvP tree or whatever, because we want to deal as much damage as possible when it comes to running cavalry in a short time period, and we're gonna be nuking people with skills. So the build will be as follows. Let's just reset this. We're gonna go for attack. This is a PvP build. We're gonna go for March speed. March speed is always more valuable on cavalry than defense because you want to go in and out of combat as fast as possible. Emilio, to answer your question, I think because Zone 3 fog is gone, I'll be able to spectate the fights. Anyway, continuing the builds, we're gonna go for attack. We're gonna use the skill tree as our base, and cavalry tree will be the supplement. And go for attack, hero skill damage, some rage generation, even more, just to generate as much rage as possible. And then we're gonna put 3 points into counter attack, or no, I don't like that. Let's just reset that. Put a reset here. I'm gonna go for this. I'm gonna go for this. I think it will be gone, Emilio. I will have to check. I will check after I'm done. After I'm done this, I think it was server 40. Which server was it again? Sorry, I have a bad memory when it comes to remembering names and numbers. Sorry about that, bro. Which server was it again, so I can write it down? Okay, so we're gonna go attack. We're gonna go for intimidation. I'm gonna go for all high spirits. Gonna put 2 points there, and then 3 points in all conquering just to take even less damage, which is always welcome. Server 49. Okay, so I remembered correctly. And then we're gonna go for boiling blood, just because Emrys will always be your secondary when you're running Bakshi, and you want to deal as much skill damage as possible. Then HP mitigation. Now you can go for the crit build, which is pretty much the only viable build you go for in the crit tree. You can go for Raging Tides. You can grab a point in Steady Hands. I like Steady Hands a lot. It is super good, in my opinion. But we're only going to take a single point in it as our last talent skill. But you want to go for, which is a Thirst for Blood. Nah, Cage Animal is just so much better. Should the fight last long, it will give you much more value than Thirst for Blood ever will. And then next up, we're gonna use the cavalry tree, secondary, more. Oops, that was wrong. Adrenaline Rush all in. I made a mistake there. Adrenaline Rush 5 points here instead of Cavalry Attack. Adrenaline Rush is just so much better. And then 5 points into Intimidation, and then finally Perfect Ferocity. That is pretty much the PvP build of Bakshi. Just a really standard skill build coupled with Cavalry Tree Secondary. There is no other viable build on Bakshi. The Cavalry Tree, the other half of it is just really subpar. That's not even worth glancing over it. It's really bad. So yeah, that is why Bakshi is the better primary when it comes to cavalry. Is there anyone else who would like to see any other builds for any other commanders? Also, there is a Magma Demon guide that will happen in 45 minutes. So if you haven't done the Magma Demon for your server, do stick around and wait. Because this class will involve the BDO family from server 39. 32, I mean. What 39? Else not, I'll just go for server 49 right now. Take a look there, see how things are getting ready. Gathering and engineering trees. Alright. Let's do some gathering and engineering. Whew. Let's start with Chaka, the best commander in the game. Don't at me. He's the best. No one comes close. Okay, so this will be the build. This is the gathering tree build on him. Let me just switch the music. Okay, so let's just review his skill. You can see here that Chaka is mainly an ore gathering commander, so we want to enhance that even further. Sure, Marcus. Let me finish the talent trees and I'll show you how many troops I have in a few minutes. So starting off, we're gonna start building the talent tree for gathering of Chaka. Since he is right now a really high level for me, we're gonna have to reset it. Use it here. We're gonna grab Earth's Grace for the extra XP, up to 12,000 a day. We're gonna grab the extra march speed just to get to the gathering tree, gathering those faster. This is pretty much the base. This is pretty much the base of every. This should be the base of every single gathering commander you have. Then we're gonna go for Earth's Grace. Our goal will always be reaching Earth's Grace as fast as possible, and then we can start branching out into other areas of the talent tree. Since Chaka is an ore gathering commander, and if you lack a gold gathering buff or a wool gathering buff, it doesn't matter here which one you go for, because he has a generalized buff and an extra ore buff. So we're just gonna go for gold here. Again, selecting whichever of those two is up to you, but I just prefer gold, because why not? And then we're gonna go for quick harvest. The extra 20% gather speed is much more valuable than the 10% load capacity, because you get load capacity from so many sources, but you don't get as much Legion gather speed from other sources. Plus the extra 1,000 or 2,000 troops that you will send out with the march are not really as significant. And then we're gonna go for the march speed of transport units just to be quicker. I'm gonna go for Logistics Master. I'm gonna go for the final Earth's Grace. We want to get that as fast as possible just to be able to get a whopping 52,000 XP every single day on your primary and on your deputy when it comes to gathering resources free XP pretty much.
ليلى السكانر عينيها بتقلب مكنة تصوير
Then
وتخلص
finally,
المكنة
Windfall or Lay of the Land, it's up to you. I haven't really done the math on Lay of the Land. I haven't bothered that much. I don't. Maybe it's better, maybe it's not. I'm not sure. But I just tend to go for Windfall. So most of my reports usually look like this when I'm gathering resources. I get 3 chests from the standard resource bundles. And yeah, that is the Chaka build. Normally when I'm building a gathering commander, the second tree I always want to go for mana, because mana is the most valuable resource in the game. They did Indus dirty with her gathering skills, yeah. Well, Indus is more of a support commander than a gathering one. It's just that it's super hard to level her up right now, making her more fit the niche of the gathering commander. But once it's a bit easier to have her skills up and running and higher levels, I think she will start showing up in the meta as a support commander for sure. Next up, we're gonna go for Kella. So we see Kella has a general gather speed bonus and a gold gather bonus, so we're gonna go for pretty much almost the exact same route as Chaka. Go for Earth's Grace, March speed, gather speed, transformation spirit, Earth's Grace, gold gather, mana gather, quick harvest, transport speed, logistics master, Earth's Grace, and then finally Windfall. And then all the other points you just want to spread out on whichever resource you feel like you need to gather the most out of. You can split all of the points, whichever. Once you finish like those two, the rest is completely up to you. What matters is that you eventually finish Veteran Miner and Veteran Lumberjack along with the Veteran Goldsmith and Mana Master. You want to max all those 4 out eventually, but your goal will always be try to reach Earth's Grace as fast as possible just to get the more XP overall and be able to level up your commanders much quicker. We're gonna visit Ordo last as he is an engineering commander, and I'll show you the engineering tree using him. Next up we have Pan. We're just gonna go for the standard foundation build. No, nothing too special. Pan has a wood gathering speed, so we're gonna use wood on her instead of gold. We're gonna go XP, march speed, gather speed, Mission Spirit, Earth's Grace, Veteran Lumberjack, mana, of course. Mana is the most valuable resource in Call of Dragons. You always want to have that. March speed, gather speed, Earth's Grace, and Windfall. Then finally Indus. Indus is also a wood gathering commander, even though she has 10% less than Pan, but that's because most of her power budget is on the fact that she has an AoE debuff that makes it so the enemies take up to 20% extra damage from all sources for 2 seconds, which is pretty big, considering that's when most skills go off, and when awakened it lasts for 3 seconds, which should also be enough time for the deputy commanders to also pull off their skills. So pretty underrated skill overall in my opinion. Plus it makes it so the march is incredibly tanky and is more of a buffing debuffing march when paired with someone like Pan as well, which kind of provides an AoE attack damage increase for you and your ally. You know, so it's always nice. It's always nice to have a march like that running around. But anyway, since she is a wood gathering commander, I'm gonna go for the standard. Gotta get Earthquakes as fast as possible. Gather. Wood. Mana. Mana is the most important resource in Cold Dragons. Rest. More speed. That's Grace. Windfall. That's that. That's pretty much the standard build options for the gathering commanders. And then let's go over engineering and how it works. So, engineering is a stat that only affects building or destroying stuff on the Tamaris map, such as the flag, upgrading the fort, and building barricades or upgrading barricades. There is a soft limit on engineering. I think it's like 21.5% or 22%, something along these lines, which caps out when you have around 30 to 35 marches building it at a single time. There are other ways to augment engineering speed, such as the Potion of Vigor artifact, which gives you a lot of engineering stats overall when you upgrade it. Let me change the song. So we're gonna check how engineering works though. So again, just to recap what I said, there is a soft limit on engineering. I think it's either 21.5% or 22% overall total, and it maxes out at like 30 to 35 marches between you and your ally. And then of course there is destruction engineering and regular engineering. Both of them cap out at the same percentages-ish, give or take. I think destruction is slightly less. But of course, we're gonna start working on the talents. Just 1 second, I need to adjust something on the stream. Gameplay. There we go. I think that is pretty much fixed for the stream. Okay, let's check the engineering build. So again, since Ordo is a hybrid between gathering and engineering, we're gonna get Earth's Grace, March Speed, Logistics Master, and then Shield of Stability. And then we're gonna go for defense. We're gonna go for increasing the engineering speed. It doesn't matter how much engineering speed you have. If all you and your allies eventually group up together, you're gonna hit the cap. Otherwise, you wanna maximize your efficiency as much as possible when it comes to having how much percentage you provide. You're gonna go for regular engineering and destruction engineering. Backup staffing and engineering models. In my opinion, I think engineering models is just so much better because there is no soft cap on how many times this can trigger, so you can always just start engineering, go away a little bit, and then this will refresh, and you won't really lose out on anything from this. So if you just keep building, then go away for a few minutes, then go back to building, it will keep constantly refreshing your what's it called? What is it called? The engineering, yeah. And then of course we're gonna go for fortification or havoc. It depends on what the state of your server is right now. I do prefer havoc because destruction engineering is not as common than regular engineering. And then we're gonna go for haste just to try to get out of combat much quicker. And then finally, I don't have points right now. What we're gonna go for even for eminent domain just to improve both of them, increasing the regular engineering and the destruction engineering. And then finally, we're gonna go for gloom, just to make it so if anyone is attacking you, they deal less damage and they march even slower. That is pretty much it for the build of engineering. If you're still here, this ain't chief. So the last 2 points will be in eminent domain and right to work. Let me just level them up a little bit so I can show you the town tree in case you want to take a screenshot of it. This is the build. Yo, what's up, Crispy Chip Fries? How are you doing, my friend? Yeah, does anyone want to see any other builds or any other commanders? Or should I go and review our friends over there at 49? Let's grab a point here, I guess, and a point here. Now, this talent tree, however, this NHE, I would never recommend you go for it on Nico or Craig, because it's just too much of a waste on those two commanders to run such a tree when they're primary. You can run Craig as secondary to Ordo, but you're better off having Craig spec'd into Marksman and Mobility, just because he has potential to be the primary flying march, and you don't want to waste him on engineering. Also, the best units for engineering are infantry, because they have the highest engineering stat, and surprisingly, gatherers have also a really high engineering stat, which is 6, the second highest engineering stat in the game, surprisingly. So if you don't want to waste any infantry to fill up your hospital with them, I would recommend you use workhorses or work rhinos for it. I'm good. I'm good, Crispy. How did your exams go? All well, I hope. And yeah, that is pretty much everything that you need to know about engineering. Maybe I should make a video about it as well. Yeah, definitely we should. Maybe after the stream then. Since no one else has any build requests, let's go on and check 49. Where's the so? Because 49 is gonna have a big war soon today, and we're gonna try to cover it. Also, if you like Call of Dragons content, please be sure to drop a like on the stream, and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps out. And do join our Discord. I will leave the link to it right here. Okay, so we're now with our friends in S49 has zone 3. Okay, so the mist has dispersed. Seems like they're getting ready for a big war between two of the big families right now. Both have equal amounts of T5, so it should boil down towards activity. Activity will be everything, since both of them are super close in power. So it'll depend on how active they are, how much planning they have between NTS and NTV. Will be interesting to see how it all works out. I suppose it's always the fight for the dragon at the end. Let's see what the pass opens. Should be open in 4 hours, so that will be fun. Let's go visit the anomaly server, server 32, see how they're doing. Or if anyone has anything going on in their server, please do drop the server name. We can go visit it, review it, check its rankings, if there's any juicy drama going on. And speaking of drama, 65 has had quite turmoil of drama. So things have calmed down in 32. The war has ended with the official victory of the BD family. The DS family has announced their loss, and they officially surrendered. Look at this noob. Seems like everyone is still healing, but I would expect a few people above 100 million power to show up as soon as everyone is done healing. Funky, for example, was 88 million, now he's at 66. So everyone is gonna have a couple of days of healing. After a couple of days though, we'll see how big the server has truly gotten. Blood Oath is already back at 4.2 billion. DS in tow. They're still consolidating power from the other DS families, the Dragon families. I wonder if the star of last night's rally is gonna be joining the DS or not yet. He is our 4 though, so we'll see. We'll definitely be curious how it goes. Let's go visit 33, the server that has Nephisto, the Nephisto from Rise of Kingdoms, currently the highest power player in the game. What's up, Palmer? How are you? Am I going to migrate? I haven't yet decided if I'm gonna migrate or not. Just waiting on a meeting today to make the final preparations, final decision, see how it goes. So we can see Nephisto is rapidly approaching 200 million. Wonder how much he spent, this guy. Because I do know he sponsors a few accounts here and there. But from what I've heard, LN, aka Nephisto's alliance, has won the season pretty much. Oh, you're with me in Kingdom 2, Omar. Wait, who are you in Kingdom 2? Go to Kingdom 3. I don't know, bro. I haven't made a decision just yet. Waiting to see how the meeting goes first. Then I'll make a decision. It is quite crazy that he's almost double the power of rank 2. because he has the highest merits right now. Has a really high kill count. Seems like he's been rallying a lot of people, and he's killed off 300,000, 74,000, which I assume are T5, which makes him well over 200 million. Maybe? No, not 200 million. I am in SS1-2, Izzy. This is my main account. Let's go see how things are going in server 65. Okay, so we're at server 65. Let's see what the rankings are right now. Well, 65 things have changed a little bit since the Boss Nasty's group falling apart. But from what I've gathered, these two alliances are still working together to fight the DS3 squad. How was the war? DS is running the server. Oh, I guess whales do kind of dictate how things go if you don't have whales on your side. So that is quite unfortunate. And yes, that is the real Mephisto from Rise of Kingdoms. No, Boss Nasty one has quite the war going on right now. His group even disbanded. It's no longer the Nasty server. It is DS1 server now. The project fell apart, yeah. Because he's not leading well. I don't know the specifics of what went on though. I don't know the details of if he was leading well or how he was leading. I don't think I have the right to speak about it because I don't know what really went on. But all I can say is that it seems like it was quite a project. Now it's a free-for-all. Wait, so is there any actual allies left in the server, or is just everyone against everyone, survival of the fittest? Because if that's the case, then DS will definitely end up winning. Just because of the sheer amount of whales they have. I mean, they have 2 T5s already. Which seems like another T5 is gonna pop up soon. This guy seems to be Saudi Arabian. I don't know. This guy's Arab as well. A little bit of allies, but they betray each other. Wow. That's never nice to hear that allies betraying each other. But I guess that is usually what happens in games like this. Really? I wonder how... Oh, there's a report here. Wow. 44 rank. Guess wars on wars on wars. Crazy Wob online again. Just farming people. You're outlaws? Let's see if we can find you. Hmm. Oh, here's Hadama. Your world ender. Okay, so let me review the rankings again. Okay, you're gonna type in Timers. Okay, that would be so much more. Oh, there we go. Oh, you have the Hydro Frame as well. 4 million power. Nice. Still got a long way ahead of you, my friend, in terms of power and such. That's nice. Alright, seems like there's nothing going on right now in 65 other than the usual wars. And Nasty's Kingdom, I think, how old is it? I don't know, it's not possible to check the server dates, how old they are anymore. What am I doing here? Well, little rice boy. Having 2 T5s in the server that is 41 days old is kind of insane, considering every single beta server barely had a T5 till the end of their first season, with some exceptions, such as server 6 with Burning, and server 1 with Ghost, server 2 with Johnny. But Johnny's case is a bit different because his account is, well, yeah. Anyway, back to Server SS1-2. And yes, T5 are really impactful in the first season, but the second season, their effectiveness kinda starts not being as great as more players catch up, because Call of Dragons is a numbers game after all. It depends on how many people you have versus how many people they have. It ends up being a number game then probably. Elwin had T5. Yeah, that is SS1-5. He's T5, yes. That is SS1-5. The Ew family. Ew. So here's Elwin. Pretty sure I'm butchering his name. 34. 34 is a whale Chinese server. Yes, that is true. Let me go visit 32 real quick. 34, I mean. Where's 34? There we go. Check how things are going there. Just a reminder for everyone, we will have a Magma Demon guide starting at around, in 14 minutes from now, it will be a class with the BD family. So if you're close to starting your Magma, be sure to stick around to learn how it works, what strategies to employ, and all that juicy stuff. Okay, so here's 34. 34 is all led by Chinese group. Basically, it's a one family server. IK34, GD34, IT34, HE34, WB34. Then there's Icon in the middle. 34. And yeah, it's basically like a 7 alliance family, I guess. Wow, even more than 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 13 family. Wow, I can't imagine leading 13 alliances at all. Sounds like torture. Which server did I want to go visit? Oh. Okay, so we're back to my home. This is 1-2. Super excited for the season to end, finally. I really want to get out of this season. It's taken way too long, and I want some action. $112. Okay, let's go visit 112. Is there anything exciting going on there? Is there war, drama, you know, anything spicy or juicy? Ooh. Another tutorial.
The prophecies had been.
My lord, I am MEOWER, your trusted counselor. I will do all I can to help you retake sacred lands.
Alright, let's just skip. By the way, if anyone has needs guidance for their alliance or whatever, just feel free to message me at any time and join the Discord. The link is in the description of the stream, and I'll post it here in chat as well, just for good measure. Oh, you're new to the game. Well, welcome to Call of Dragons. Are you enjoying the game? It's definitely really become one of my favorites real quick.
My lord, a mage has come seeking shelter. He says he got lost in the mist.
Okay, skip.
Born from darkness, blood-red eyes. They must be the darklings the prophecy speaks of.
Report. There's a group of suspicious-looking types outside the city.
Where did my mouse go? What? Okay. Skip.
Darklings, a humbly requested your...
We still don't.
I did not miss the tutorial. I just had to do so many yesterday. Now I'm back to doing tutorials again today. That's always fun. Do you think a free-to-play or low sponsor? Yes, of course, DJs. Of course they can survive. The level of you spending or not spending does not impact on your survivability. It more because Call of Dragons is more of an alliance-based game than an individual game. So if you have a really solid alliance, you'll be able to survive just fine. You'll be able to survive just fine at any stage of the game. As long as you're active, you're emptying your CP, you're contributing, you'll be able to survive and grow and thrive. Now, it's feasible for a free-to-play to even reach City Hall 25 by the end of the first season. I've seen that happen firsthand in my original server. Hi, Grigori. Welcome to the stream. Have to start getting ready for class now. Starts in 8 minutes. I will be streaming the Magma Demon class here, though, in case anyone wants to understand how it works, because it is one of the more coordination-intensive guides. Coordination-intensive raids, for sure. It's not difficult if you know what you're doing and your allies know what they're doing. Which is, of course, the point of the guide, is to know what you should be doing. Okay, Scout A, Explore. I did not miss any of the tutorials. What my country? I am Egyptian. I'm from Egypt. That is why I'm obsessed with cats. Meow, 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 meow. No, because us pharaohs really loved cats. Ah, I'm almost done with this tutorial. I hate the tutorial. Okay, so it's done. Let's see the power rankings of 1-1-2. Oh, a couple of whales here. Rimuru. Seems like there's been a few fighting here and there. Overall, a really solid server, it seems. Very solid powers. Seems like has a really good basis, this server. Good base for success and growth. Well, it is time for me to start getting the class ready. So be sure to hang out. I will revisit 1-2 again, though after class though. Well, thank you, DJs. That is very nice of you. I often play Egyptian players. That's nice, Grigori. Alright, let me go over to the Magma. Hello.
Yo.
Hello, hello.
How are you guys doing?
Very well, sir. Thank you. You?
I am fine, thanks. Do note that I am streaming this right now on YouTube, so in case anyone wants to review the tape at any time, feel free to do so.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to be eating and listening, just so you know.
Yeah, no problem. We'll wait a few minutes till more people join the call, and then we're gonna go through how we're gonna structure this class. What's up, World?
How many
are you?
people can do this one, this behemoth? Is it only 40 still, or?
60. This is a
Oh,
60
nice.
people rate.
Nice.
Just so everyone is aware, on stream right now, we're gonna be getting ready to host the Magma Demon class in the BDO Discord.
So that is you being streaming for the last 1 hour, showing this talent points, something like that.
What do you mean?
I was watching someone streaming. Like he started the stream like 1 hour ago,
Oh,
and it was showing the talent points. That's you, right? Yeah.
That's me. Yeah.
So you have a count on season 2 already?
Yes, I am a beta player.
Yeah.
Me, Does, Cognar, all these guys, we all came from the beta servers, even Chad. But I stayed in the beta, they made accounts here.
Right. While we were waiting, I saw a stream yesterday about collecting information data about the powers of the kingdoms. And it seems our kingdom is the second strongest kingdom in an old game in Call of Dragons.
Yes.
Even with the merge kingdom, the season 2 ones.
That is
only
correct.
one is bigger than us. Yeah, it was great.
The one that is bigger than you is SS1-2. SS1-2 is currently the strongest total power server in the game, but that is mainly to the time factor, pretty much. But the fact that you
What is their top alliance power, by the way?
The top alliance power in server SS1-2 is 6.1 billion.
Oh, not too far away.
And the rank 2 is 4.3, with the rank 3 3.4, rank 5 3 billion, rank 4 3 billion, rank 5 close to 3 billion, and then the cutoff is 2.2.
It's like 9 billion more than us. But there are more kingdoms, right?
Six servers in SS1-2. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, but in that one we are an outlier. It is
for low spender, do you think it's better to buy speed up? No.
Will grow up at our rate.
Don't buy any gems from the Goblin Merchant, any speed ups if you're a low to mid spender, unless it's at an 80% discount.
I think everybody will chill out, not wailing anymore, just waiting. At least for me, it will be like that. The next 20 days, we'll just chill. Waiting for the best bundles, If
when
they
do we switch to season 2?
Best bundles.
How long is it to season 2?
After your dragon, by a couple of weeks, season 2 should be announced. Or like a week before the dragon or during the dragon time, your season 2 should be announced, which should be a merged cluster 31, 32, 33, 34. That will be your season 2 matchup. But before we start the class, let's just wait 5 more minutes for more people to show up. If not, we'll just start with the basic format and how the class will go. Sounds good?
Yes, for me, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So right now, guys, in chat, we're just getting ready for the class of the Magma Demon Guide. Hello, Afik from K33. What's up, bro? KSS1, by the way, it is the format of the merged cluster that usually happens for the next season. So it is usually SS stands for Super Server, 1, which is continent 1, and then dash X, it depends on the number of the super server. It is usually a conglomerate of 4 different servers together, most likely in numerical order of where they are. This is server 1-2, the oldest server right now in Call of Dragons, in the beta servers. Now, this has been active for quite a long time, clocking at 224 days of this game. To 224 more. We're gonna start in 2 minutes if no one else shows up. Well, it seems like not a whole lot others are gonna be coming. Let me check if Tuz is gonna come as well. You guys want me to start right now, or should I wait 5 more minutes in case anyone wants to come in time?
I'm not in a rush, bud. I'm not in a rush.
Alright, can you guys also contact people in the Alliance chat in game, in case they haven't paid attention to Discord?
Yeah, no worries.
Alright. Yes, Gregory, I killed every single behemoth in the game, and did all of the raids. The elite raids, so, the most difficult one in my opinion, or the one that needed coordination the most, was definitely the elite raid, the Magma Demon raid. That is the one that needed the most coordination, in my humble opinion. Alright, let's just wait till 14:10, just to be extra safe, in case anyone wants to show up at last minute, but other than that, we'll just start. I will open the Discord stream as well, so you guys can see the screen of what is going on. Is Behemoth considered Darkling? No. Behemoths are not considered Darklings. There is a talent or two that do impact Behemoths. Let me remember which one is it. I forgot. There were two talents in the Peacekeeping tree that impacted Behemoths. Otherwise, no. Behemoths are not treated as Darklings or Dark Creatures. They don't get impacted by the bonus from any of the Peacekeeping trees or any of the Peacekeeping buffs that some commanders have, such as Bakshi's Sense Weakness. And no, I am not full T5 yet. I'm pretty close though. I'm just missing these two researchers, then I can start 2 T5 at the same time. Really close yet so far. Alright, seems like no one else is gonna join the Discord call, so I'm gonna go ahead and start the class. Well, only 12 people. Oh, that's not bad. Alright guys, since no one else seems to be coming, we're gonna start the class. Okay? So the way the class is gonna go, I'm gonna explain the mechanics of the behemoth, what to look out for, explain the skills, explain some certain outlines, and then we're gonna go over a couple of strategies and maybe watch a video about how they function. And then if anyone has any questions at any time, try to save them after I'm done with each segment so my train of thought isn't cut off. And it is a really simple raid. It's all about coordination. Other than that, it's a lot of fun. So before we get started, anyone has any questions?
I'm good.
Alright. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so in case you guys don't know me, I am MEOWER. I'm a friend of the Alliance pretty much. I'm still playing the beta servers though. And Cogner has asked me to fill in because he's busy with work in real life right now. So with that out of the way, let's start this class. Okay, so the Magma Demon is pretty much the most coordination intensive raid in Call of Dragons. It is more difficult than the Dragon even in terms of coordinating and how the skills function, and the difficulty of it as well is slightly harder than the Dragon. But since you guys did the Necro, I'm pretty sure you guys will be super simple for it, because the Necro is by far the most obnoxious raid of them all. So now we're gonna go through the basic mechanics of the raid, what to look out for. The way the Magma Demon raid functions is that it applies a mark, or let me just backtrack a little bit. The Magma Demon, you need to kill all 4 of them in order to win the raid. Every single one of them has a separate HP pool. It's not calculated together the same way the Necro was, because the Necro, if you killed one, both would lose HP at the same time. That's not how it works for the Magma Demon. The Magma Demon, there are 4 demons, each with 2 million HP points. Let me just swap to a different server so you can see it. They all have 2 million HP. We're gonna need to kill all of them within the 10-minute timer, because this is a 10-minute raid. What else? Just basic knowledge about it. Oh, every single one of them has their own skill set, and let me just go over here. Every single one of them has their own skill set. Oh, they actually increased the HP to 2.8 million. That's interesting. Usually it's 2 million. Okay, then whatever. Every single one of them has their own skill set, their own aggro line, and their own tethers. So every single one of the magmas has a circle around them. So there's gonna be a circle here, a circle here, a circle here, and a circle here, and there will be a safe zone in the middle between them both. And there are two of the circles of each of them that are next to each other are gonna interlap in a certain position. So you see, if you see where my mouse is right there, this is a place where they overlap, and this is a place where they overlap. Here, between these two, they don't overlap, and between these two, they don't overlap. We're gonna see a video of how this is, so you don't feel confused or anything. Let me just pull up the video right now and keep it in the background. Okay, this is the strategy we'll be using. So the basic mechanics are like that. Let's go over the skills. So in terms of skills, every single Magma Demon applies a certain mark on your marches, with up to a limit of 5 marks, and if you reach 5 marks for any single demon, you're gonna get insta one-shot by that demon if you stay in the circle for too long. The way you stay in the circle and you move will be depending on your DPS leaders. We're gonna be assigned 4 DPS teams and 4 tank teams. Following so far, anyone has any questions? Because the first initial chunk is a bit complicated, but as you see it in action, it becomes pretty simple. So does anyone have any questions right now before I carry on? Anyone?
All good for now.
All right, then we'll keep going. Every single one of the magmas applies a mark of their own. The more marks you have, the more damage you're gonna take from the demon, up to 5 marks. So what we're gonna do is that we wanna cycle between the demons every 3 marks. If we cycle at the correct time, a mark takes 18 seconds to apply and takes a minute and a half to drop off. So if we cycle at 3 marks, if enough time spent correctly where everyone is going in circle correctly, so juggling between the first behemoth, second behemoth, third and fourth, and by the time you return to the first one, your marks would have expired by then, granting you pretty much a refreshed damage source. Normally DPS don't take damage at all from the demons, with a few exceptions, because some of them do deal a lot of damage while others just a bit more tanky. In terms of tankiness and HP, the Magma Demons tend to melt very easily. They have some of the weaker base stats of most of the behemoths in comparison to something like the Necro Giant or the Dire Bear. They have really high HP, and even though they are 2.8 million per one, but they melt pretty easily. So don't be shocked or anything from the high HP they have. Every single one of them will apply their marks, and we want to cycle. The way the strategy works is that we're going to cycle away from the marks, not being impacted too much by them. Every single Magma Demon, though, has a skill set, and we'll be ranking them from how dangerous they are to the least dangerous, and which ones to really pay attention to when you are in the circle of them. The Devourer is by far the weakest and the easiest. Its only single mechanic is that it spawns acolytes. It spawns 3 acolytes, and if those acolytes reach the Devourer, it's gonna heal it. Other than that, it doesn't have any special attacks, it doesn't deal extra damage, it's just raw basic attacks and damage, nothing too special, just simple. When you see the acolyte spawns, just kill it. Again, we're gonna see it in the video how that works right here. We're gonna when it comes time to see it in the video will show pretty much everything I'm talking about. But for now, it's gonna sound a little bit overwhelming first, but don't worry about it. It's much easier than I think. The second easiest or the second least dangerous is the Devastator. Devastator does have a single charge up, which it does, which can be avoided pretty easily. It's a really short range charge up, so The ones that will need to dodge it the most will be the tanks. If the tank player needs to be paying attention, of course, because you're going to be paying attention to the marks you have. I'll give you a little tips and tricks for where the marks appear and how to know that it's time to avoid them. And there are some strategies you can employ to constantly juggle and not take marks at all. If you're paying close attention, then you can micro your troops correctly. But these are a little bit more advanced, so I'll explain them in the end after we're done watching the video. The Devastator has a little charge up and a little cone right in front of it, so right here. It doesn't go farther than that, so if you're running archers, you will not be at risk at all. Don't run mages. If you run mages, don't join the raid at all. Because if you run mages and you're not paying attention, you're gonna start attacking the demon from outside the circle. From outside the stellar circle. And if you're attacking from outside its stellar circle, you're not gonna deal any damage to it at all, making you a dead weight taking place for someone that could have ran an archer march. Even if your archer march is subpar, it's still gonna deal even more damage than the mage march. One other thing to pay attention to are those two demons, the Reaper and the Manipulator, for two main reasons. Reaper has a certain skill that is almost a one-shot, so if you're not paying attention, you will get one-shot by it. And the Manipulator has a certain skill that applies a circle, which sort of works, how do I put this? It has a little indicator right around you. It impacts two people, and it summons a little pool under them after a few seconds of charge up time, and that pool will deal 5% of the Legion's max HP over every second. And if you stay in it for long, you will lose a lot of HP for free. So do pay attention to that. If you are next to the team, try to move away a little bit to the opposite side of the team, because we went through this in last night's class. So for example, if you are right here for the Manipulator, if the DPS team is right here, just try to walk away until circle here, till the pool is summoned, and then go back with your team. Of course, this circle is usually random, but most of the time it's focused on the DPS. The Magma doesn't really drop aggro as much as the Necro Giant did, so in case that should happen, we're gonna have a little backup plan for it the next time, should we fail the first time. But it is, again, fairly simple. It will be all about coordination and how people respond to calls on the fly. Every single person will be assigned a certain team, and their job is just to follow the team leader. Because other than that, you have nothing to worry about at all when it comes to this raid. There are no invulnerability mechanics such as the Magma Demon, the Necro Giant. I mean, it is not as annoying as the Necro at all. It's actually pretty fun once you figure out the mechanics of it. And then the Reaper has a certain skill, charge up. It is a charge up. You need to run when you see that charge up happens, because it will almost one-shot you if that happens. Save the healing crystals for the tanks. Don't pick up any healing crystal unless the tank really needs it. Again, the DPS leaders will call the shots on the fly, and so will the tanks. Just don't pick up the healing crystals till the tanks desperately need it, because they are very limited, and every 20% of HP lost from the Magma Demons, a mana crystal will appear. So theoretically, you can have 5 mana crystals per Magma Demon, and you're gonna need them, especially for the tanks, because they're gonna suffer a lot of damage. Other than that, most of the other skills are pretty straightforward. They have a ranged attack and a melee attack. If the tanks are in place, you will not have to risk getting attacked by the range. And if no one is in the circle at any given time, they're applying one of their stacks, which should not happen theoretically, assuming no one messes up. The marks will be limited to the people in the circle. Every single demon has their own mark. They don't stack with each other, but if any of them reaches 5, the next stack of them that happens, that person will get one shot and they will be wiped immediately. That is pretty much everything in regards to the skills. Like, there's no depth to it or anything. Does anyone have any questions in regard to the skills before I start discussing the strategy and such?
It's not the skills. It's so the type of choice is archers, you're saying, yeah? No,
Yeah,
no
archers only.
calves or mages?
Calves is a possibility, but calves run the risk of getting aggroed pretty easily because of the none of the magmas move, so they're always in place. So calves might run the risk of taking aggro from the tanks.
Okay, cool.
If you want to run calves though, you can run the elf spring warden calves because they're ranged, so you don't run risk taking the aggro away from the tanks, because when the demons take aggro from the tanks, they start dealing AoE ranged damage, while the melee attack is single target. Is that clear? Any other questions?
All good.
Okay. So now we're gonna watch a video about it. Let me just improve the quality of the video. This is pretty much the strategy of what we'll be running. You'll see here that he kind of shows the position of the circles. You can see here every single demon has an initial circle around it, and there are a couple of circles that overlap. Okay? These overlapping circles, if you're standing in the middle here and they apply the marks, you're gonna get marks from both of them instead of just one. So do pay attention and don't stand in those circles. You'll notice that here they're just setting up with 4 DPS teams and 4 tanks. And 4 tank teams. That is pretty much the strategy we will be using, because this is the most efficient and the fastest strategy pretty much. There's a different strategy, but we won't be employing that for now. So no need to talk about it now.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
About the buffs you get from each magmas.
Yes.
They don't do damage, right?
No, they don't. They make it so you take extra damage from the demon, but they themselves don't do damage. They only deal like 1% of your HP, which is nothing at all.
So you're gonna have multiple buffs from each one.
If you take a buff, for example.
You can have like 3 of buffs. Sorry.
Yeah.
So you can have like 3 buffs from each one of 3 magmas.
Yeah, but the stack will only impact you if you are standing in front of that demon that gave you a certain stack.
Right.
So if you have 4 buffs from the manipulator, you will not take any extra damage from the devastator because of those marks. It will only start taking extra damage from the devastator if he has more than 3 stacks on you, because that is like the breaking point of how much extra damage he's gonna deal. That makes sense? Okay, so we can see here there's the safe zone. This right there is the safe zone. This area you are not under any threat. You can usually just chill there, cool down to drop the attacks. But if everyone does their job properly, we won't need to have anyone in the safe zone outside of certain tanks while they wait for their turn to swap out. What is gonna happen is that there will be 4 DPS teams with 4 leaders, and they're gonna go clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on which call which shot call does calls. We're gonna go from, for example, here to here to here to here to here. Okay, just going around in circles at 3 stacks, swap, 3 stacks, swap, 3 stacks, swap, and so on and so forth. All clear so far? Okay.
Yep.
I want you to look at this video and tell me if you notice something that happens as soon as the magma start moving. Is this in this video? Okay. Okay, so you're looking at... Oh, it's not in this video. Okay. Well, one thing to pay attention to. Okay? When we start the magma demons, every single one of them is going to switch position with the other. So, for example, if the manipulator is right here, and the raid begins, the manipulator is going to switch place randomly with another. So try to pay attention to that, just to know which skills you're going to get ready to dodge. Because some of them deal a bit more damage than others. So always be on your toes and try to pay attention. All clear so far?
Yeah, all good.
Okay. So just to recap a little bit before we start watching the video, it's gonna be 4 teams, 4 DPS teams, 4 tank teams. Some cycling will go around. It'll be a ring around the Rosie, swap at 3 marks, and just nuke it as fast as possible. Don't pick up the healing crystal till the tank needs it. Okay? Now let's watch the video in action. You see here they're starting the fight. They have 4 teams. Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, Team 4. Every single tank is assigned to a set of 2 behemoths that they're gonna be swapping with. They're gonna go in circle here, so as soon as you see here, this little charge up north before right above the names, that is when the behemoth is charging up to apply their marks on everyone in the circle inside it. As soon as the charge up finishes, you'll see they're gonna have 2 marks like that, 2, 2, 2, 2. Every single one has a different icon, so they're not so they're clear which one you have the mark of. Okay, some of them do their skills here, etc, etc, etc. See, this is the Devastator skill. You can see the little cone here. You just need to stay away from it. It won't do as much damage. And for the manipulator side here, on the side, you guys can see the mouse, right?
Yeah, we can.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you can see
Yeah,
here
we
the
can.
manipulator is getting ready to launch its pool. See here he's gonna make a mistake. So he didn't. The person that has the pool did not walk away. Oh, this is the Reaper, not the manipulator. My bad. This person did not walk away, so he made it so he took extra AOE damage. The left side here is the manipulator. See this? These are the 2 poles, and there's a little indicator under your marches of showing you when the pool is gonna happen. See that right here? That is the skill of the pool. When that happens, just try to walk away a little bit. The pool will stand in place. It will not follow you around. You can see that he starts taking so much damage from it as long as he keeps staying in the pool. Here he lost aggro, so he made it so an AoE attack happened on the ranged marches on the manipulator side. So try not to lose aggro if you're a tank. And then here the third stack should start running up. And now they started swapping. So you see here, every single one of them has 3 stacks, but some of them are not as paying attention as others, so they don't swap fast enough. But when back then also there were no markers on the certain marches, so it wasn't as easy to pay attention where the DPS leader is. So now it's gotten actually easier to know who to follow and when to move. Here everyone is just swapping positions at 3 stacks. You can see your stacks if you are targeted by the behemoth here, or on the upper left corner of the screen you can see how many stacks you have on your personal march, and as well when the breath happens you can see it on top of your march in a little icon here. So you have 3 sources to know how many stacks you have at any given time. Here they're running 50 out of 60, but that's not an issue. There are some healing crystals here and there. And then they just keep going around in circles and dodging the skills. And that is pretty much the entire raid. It's just like that. It just becomes systematic, basically. Just running around in circle at 3 stacks, swap places, tanks try not to lose aggro, and that's it. Here are the acolytes of the Devourer. They're pretty squishy, so you can almost one-shot them in a couple of hits. And do note, in this raid, they didn't really have any T5 players at all, I think, while you guys have T5 players, so it's going to be an even easier task for you guys. Here it's super simple, then they just keep running around. Here they're picking up the crystal for the tank, or they're picking up the crystal and the tank is not there, so that is a mistake down there. And then they just keep running around in circles till it's dead. And after it's dead, they piss on it and it's dead. It's a GG. You have to kill all of them at the same time. Sorry, what was that?
Sorry. For the tanks. If
Yes.
the tanks, I'm seeing the tanks are tanking in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
If the tank is tanking on the right or on the left side, the boss spins. That side.
No,
because
it
what
doesn't.
I'm seeing, they are doing a lot of lava the front of the tank.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And that lava stacks in front of DPS.
Yes. Some of the skills are pretty basic. So you just need to move a little bit away to the left, to the right, and just dodge them as a tank if you're front.
I was just asking that because if the boss spins, where the text goes was more easier. For example, the tank is
Yeah.
behind the boss.
Most of the skills have indicators. So as soon as you see the indicator, just walk a little to the left, a little to the right to dodge it, and just leave it on the floor and don't stand in them. And then they just keep going around in circles and circles and circles till it's dead. And the tanks chill in the safe zone to swap other places. Here you see 3 stacks, they start moving, and you need to kill every single one of the magmas in relatively close proximity to each other, because if one of them is really high HP and the others are dead, it's gonna start stacking its stacks quicker, and you can't really risk having anyone chill outside its circle, because at 5 stacks you all die, and if no one is inside the circle, it's gonna apply its stacks to the entire raid, to everyone else. So if this Magma Demon, for example, is empty, let me just swap screen, if no one is around the circle of the Devastator, for example, you're all gonna get a mark of the Devastator no matter which side of the raid you are in. So that is why this strategy is the most preferred and pretty much one of the easiest to execute. So here I think they fail here in this video, that's why he doesn't keep going, because of everyone dying. But that's pretty much it, like, for the raid. It's super simple, otherwise there's really no risk of failure as long as everyone knows what to do and where to stand. And yeah.
So this
Yes.
is for the normal raid, not for the elite, yeah?
Yeah, and the elite is the same exact thing. There is no difference between the normal and the elite.
Just the HP, I think, is the difference.
Only HP, you gain rage a little slower, but there are no extra mechanics. Just the marks will make it so you take a little bit extra more damage.
So it's literally like what Cognar said, this is a basic raid.
Yeah, exactly. It's just all about knowing where to be at the right place at the right time, and you'll end up pissing on the Magma Demon in no time.
And does it have the same number of participants? Like, is it gonna be 40
it's
or
60.
more? Because when you say 14, that means you're gonna need a shit ton of people.
It's 60. The Magma raid is 60.
Oh, okay.
So is the elite. You can see here the elite status. It gains. Where is it? It's 25% extra.
I think that might be an issue for us, because at the time of the elite, like 3 UTC, 230 UTC, we're gonna struggle to get 60 at the same time.
It'll be up to you guys, I guess, but it's pretty easy. Like you
It
guys
is
should do.
easy, but I mean, to get the people, pretty
Oh
light.
yeah, I mean the dragon you'll need 80. So if you struggle to get 60, you better fix some issues.
But yeah, but dragon, it's not pressing. Dragon, there's no other dragon on the map. You can do it at any time.
Well, I will give you like a sort of cheat code. The dragon family is not even gonna try for the Magma.
Oh.
But yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah. Other than that, it's super simple. Nothing else to really pay
I
attention
mean,
to.
it doesn't really affect us if they're trying or not. I mean,
Yeah.
we're gonna do it at the same time either way.
Exactly.
I think, and yeah, just the OCD of the alliance here.
like last time, MP, like last time they quit, we just keep going. We were able to manage.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm saying we had the OCD of to not stop.
That's
they,
good.
They quit, and they know that we're not quitting it. And according to our friend there, that the guy who's responsible to coordinate the raid, that day he wasn't there. He was snoring in the voice chat.
But
yeah.
I think what we managed last raid was really because initially you see the health pool of the boss was like it's impossible to have the damage. You know?
We didn't have the DPS, yeah.
We didn't have the DPS, but in the end, 3 hours later, we were able to manage. So this one seems more easy.
Yeah, it is squishier as well. It does not have as much base stats as something like Necrogiant.
Yeah. It was annoying. Last raid was annoying, gotta admit.
Yeah.
It was annoying, but it was cool, right?
Yeah, but it was annoying. It was annoying for real. We've done, I think, was it 14 raids? 13
14
raids?
times, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, so it was so freaking annoying.
The worst part was the magma floor, you know, when the tanks need to pump everything.
And we had a lot of that.
Yeah.
Oh, MEOWER, we were so unlucky with the skills.
Yeah, the Necro I despise it. Does anyone else have any questions in regards to the class before I say class dismissed, and we can go off topic as much as we'd like? Anyone has any questions regarding to the raid? Anything you want
Hang
to...
on. So for the archers,
Yes.
what is the recommended pair?
Nico Kinara or Nico Husk or
Nico
Nico
Kinara.
Guano.
So I don't need. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Nico...
someone was telling me for raids I should use Kinara Husk, but
no.
why?
Husk is garbage in raids. Don't use Husk in raids.
Okay. Good. They said for the. I think it's for the size of. The
I
mark.
know the person that said that. I think it was Chad. Chad is a noob.
No.
Don't use Husk in raids.
Wow. Don't
Chad.
be mean, Chad. What the fuck?
You know the sort of debuffs that you get given, do they show up periodically, sort of thing? Like, just so you know how many you've got?
Yeah, but the defense break from Nico is way better.
Yes.
That's
Nico
the
Kinara
thing.
is much better. Nico Kinara is always much better.
Okay, good. And any artifact, like they have
Shadow
other than
Blades.
Shadow Blade. We have Shadow Blades. Like, is there a certain one that we need to use?
No. Shadow Blades is
Okay,
the best.
good. That's music to my ears.
Yes. Shadow Blades, it's just need to kill it as fast as possible. So just raw Shadow Blades, pew pew pew, and it's dead.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a question.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you know the debuffs, when they come up, do they show up periodically?
You'll always see
like, how
them.
many
You'll
you've
always
got?
see them on the upper left side of your screen. There'll be a little icon right there, and then whenever the thing oozes the spray, you'll notice how many things you have.
Okay, cool.
Wow, how to pronounce that? Because I know Sakura is Fonse. Avec plaisir. Okay, anyone else have any questions?
Nope, all good.
Okay, then class dismissed. Good luck in the raid tonight, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Spare some time for us.
Anytime.
Yeah.
You gonna play the raid?
anytime. I don't know. If you want me to play at the time, I can pilot someone.
No, I don't want you. I mean, in general. I'm
No.
asking, since you took the liberty to do those classes.
It will
I
depend
thought you were
if,
playing on Cognar's account or
if
something.
does
'cause I
ask
know
me to
Cognar's
take
busy.
someone.
Okay.
Yeah, it just depends on if does ask me to.
We know Does is gay, so whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's not a secret. Well, I have to go back to streaming. I will see you guys
Okay.
in a bit.
Okay,
We can bully you there. Don't worry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come hang out to the stream, say hello. You better subscribe, or I will have the DS family zero you. That is a promise.
If they could do anything, they would have done it already.
Yeah.
So no.
When Big
They're as
Dad.
gay as they're as gay as Does. So don't worry.
And yeah, come hang out. The link is
Alright.
in the content plug. Oh, I can't post it. Oh, there we go. There.
All right. See ya.
See you, bros.
Okay, see you. Bye.
Yes, Lycros. How to gather farm fast like the top gathering server? Usually the best way to gather resources as fast as possible is to always have your marches out gathering and setting the correct talent trees for each march type. I actually do have a video in regards to gathering. I will drop the link to it right now on chat. You can check it out as well. It's just all about having the most efficient builds for each troop type, for each resource type. So you'll notice that Indus has a wood gathering buff. So we want to spec her out into the wood lumberjack build here, and then for mana as well, because mana is the most valuable resource in Call of Dragons. Most of the time, if people are just gathering a lot of mana, that means they won't have a lot of total gathered in general, such as this guy here. He has 2 billion gathered, but he's gathering wood and gold. Wood and gold gather the fastest, the largest amounts in the quickest, in the least amount of time possible, because it takes the same amount of time for a 750,000 wood node or gold node to gather the same amount of time that it needs for a 250,000 mana node. That is why sometimes you'll notice that some players gather faster than others. It will just depend on which type of resource you're gathering. For me, I'm just gathering mana non-stop, because for me mana is the most important resource with the current state of my account, and I just can't emphasize enough how important mana really is, because late game it will be your biggest break when it comes to needing it, a lot of them for technology, training troops, healing troops, and then it will mostly be for T5 training. I hope that answers your questions. Thank you, Rice Boy. On that note, though, if anyone has any questions, I would love to hear them. Anytime, my friend, anytime. If you guys have anything going on in your servers, do let me know. Let's do some server reviews. Yeah. Streaming 32's Magma temp later? I can do that. No problem. If no one else is gonna stream it, I can sure as hell stream it. No, I don't see why not. As a low spender, which 2 troop types you recommend to focus on? Archers and mages. Always archers and mages, because they'll help you in pretty much every single aspect of the game. If you want to expand your pool and make a 3 troop tribe, then definitely go for infantry next, just to get Madeline. Madeline functions fantastically at 5-1-1-1 or 5-5-1-1 or 5-5-5-1-1. You don't need to awaken her as fast as possible. But yes, archers and mages are the best because they're the most versatile. Archers for behemoths, mages for PvP control. Cavalry now are pretty accessible for free-to-play, because they are now, both of their commanders are in the gold keys, but cavalry, Emrys, you really need him high skills to get the most out of him. So pretty much most of the marches are pretty viable for free-to-play and pay-to-win alike. Welcome, Creamy. How are things in S34? I saw it's completely dominated by single alliance family. By the way, if you like the stream and you like content for Call of Dragons, please be sure to like the stream and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps out. Ooh, that's nice. I guess your guys are just preparing for next season then, at this rate. If you're all allies here. Only some organized war games. And that's fair enough. Farming merits is always fun. You don't want to end up being bored and quitting the game over boredom. Later, pause. Have a good time at work. Oh, since no one really has any other requests for the stream, I guess I'll be ending stream for now. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you like content for Call of Dragons, don't forget to like the video, like the stream, check out my other content. Don't forget to subscribe and do join our Discord. I will drop the link to it right now. And I will see you guys later.